Hello, Eagle fans, and welcome to the second installment of the McDonald's Weekly Coaches Show. I'm at Ouachita Christian School on campus with head coach Stephen Fitzhugh, and I'm Daniel Kirkendall, and we're here to talk about Eagle football. It's been a busy week, Coach. Last week we had the scrimmage over at Ruston High School against Captain Shreve, and really I think that's where I want to start today and ask you about that game. Did you learn what you wanted to learn from that scrimmage last week?
Yes, we have lots of room for improvement.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a scrimmage. And what I tell the guys about scrimmage, it's a glorified practice. We have things lined out. We're not trying to go in and go, hey, we got to outscore these guys no matter what, this, that. We have a sheet of paper lined out that, hey, here's who's playing the first 5 plays. Here's who's playing the next 5. Here's who's playing. And we're going to rotate guys through, get them on film, grade them, evaluate them as to how they're doing against someone besides ourselves, and so it was good. We did some good things, and then we did some things that we see we got to improve on and correct. And so, again, that's what we talk about. Let's go out and get better each and every day. We have a good starting point last week with here's where we are. Now let's get better and correct the things that we need to correct. That, again, 10 of those guys on defense there today that started for us, none of those were starting last year. And so, opportunity for them to get in game, speed, action against someone else, and again allows us to go, here's what we need to work on. Let's get better in these areas, and again just keep improving each and every day. So, it's a positive scrimmage that everyone got reps, and we got to evaluate film as coaches and grade each player, and it's either plus or minus. You do it right or you don't, and so again, it was a good outing for us.
So your rotations were kind of scripted or planned out. These guys were going in no matter the situation.
Correct.
Is it the same thing with your play calling? Do you have your play calling? So, in a real game, you'll make adjustments in the game, but do you do that in the scrimmage?
We do. We'll go through and we have a list of plays that offensively and defensively, which ones we've not hadn't done that one yet. Let's do that, and really throw out the scenarios of. And again, in that scrimmage portion, that we got to get a first down here, this or that. We haven't done this. We want to see this, and so we're going to call them and get those in. And then as we got into that's one reason we do want to do the live quarter for at the very end, just to get in game situation as to hey, what would we probably do?
Well, I know my partner, David Gordy, he called me right after the scrimmage, and he's called me every day since. He wanted to know, how it went. And I told him that. I was like, look, it's all scripted, David. It didn't go – I wouldn't say it was perfect. And I'll say the opponent was pretty good. I mean, their running back was really good. They had a left tackle that's committed to Arkansas, and he was massive. I mean, that was a good team that you guys played at the scrimmage. Good experience.
It was.
To have. And, it was hard. Y'all wearing practice jerseys, so we were trying to pick up the numbers. Not only that, but there's so many new numbers this year that are on the field. And some of the guys that played last year switched numbers,
right.
So give us a hard time in the booth. But also, Coach, I wanted to ask you, we talked about the new players, the new schedule, new district, but hey, I saw a new face at practice yesterday. You got you a new staff member, huh?
We do. We had a new coach that he moved here from Texas just a couple of weeks ago, and he and his wife came on faith, no job at the time, and but felt that this was, she is from here. Her mom actually graduated. His wife's mom graduated from OCS back, I think, in the early 80s, and so they moved here to get closer to her family. She actually took a job at Cedar Creek. And they have a 4-year-old son. But, yes, Will Sanford joined us. We met with him last week on Wednesday for the first time, and just very impressed with him. And academic-wise, he's able to help in a lot of areas. His expertise in football is the offensive line, and so he's going to be able to help us there. And has a strong background in weightlifting, powerlifting, and weight room stuff, and so he's going to be able to be extra eyes to help us in the weight room on both the junior high and high school level, and he's going to coach junior high and high school right now as well. And so, he jumped in full speed. That went to the JV game last night, go to the junior high jamboree tonight, and junior high Thursday, Jamboree Friday, and so he was up here for coaches meeting on Sunday, so he's jumped in full speed. But we're real excited to have Will Sanford. I think he's a great fit for OCS and will be a great blessing here.
I went out to practice yesterday, and I had a chance to meet Coach Sanford, talk to him for a minute, and that's what he said. He's just trying to soak it all in right now and get caught up to speed. And with a relatively young offensive line on the varsity level, he's got his work cut out for him. I actually watched a little video from the JV game yesterday, and I saw him on screen. So I do want to talk about JV for a minute, because I think a lot of times it's overlooked because of the hype that the varsity games get under the lights on Friday night. But JV played yesterday. Did you have a chance to watch any of that or hear how it went?
No, I was there.
Yeah,
I was there and did watch film last night after the game. And it's like I told the guys at halftime. I was like, guys, okay, it's not junior high football anymore. It is. We're playing junior varsity, but I wanted them to realize 2/3 of our varsity football team are here at this JV game. 40 of our 60 players are here, and we are looking for players that can step in on Friday night and get the job done. And so we did get to evaluate and look at things that again, who are guys that on a Monday night they're lining up correctly, they're catching the football, they're making the tackles, they're communicating, they're hustling, and so those are things that we are evaluating on Monday night, is going, who is that next guy up, the next guy in line? Because even some of those guys, they may have to step in and play on Fridays. They'll definitely be playing on special teams. But again, just to get that experience of live action. And so, and one thing about the JV, I was telling one of our other coaches this, just as a reminder, last year we had 5 juniors that started on JV. And a lot of times a junior may take it as, I'm a junior, I'm still playing JV, and kind of get sour grapes in their mouth. But there again, we're trying to get you ready for Friday night. And, if you go in with the right attitude, regardless of who it is, freshman, sophomore, junior, get better. Use that opportunity to get better. And I think back to Coach Washam's son, and then really our 2012 state championship football team. The seniors on that 2012 state championship undefeated team, we had at least 5 or 6 that they were first-year starters, that their junior year, they never started a varsity game. They played in every JV game. Hunter Loveland, Jordan Washam, Jonathan Washam. There were several of them. And Jordan Washam, as a senior, MVP of the state on defense. His only year to ever start, and he was the coach's selection for MVP of the state on defense. And Jonathan was the first team all-district. And so, again, it's just a matter of guys staying with it. And we have situations with guys this year. Cam Boyan played in every JV game last year, and he's a guy that's going to be out there on Friday night making the plays. And so we have that every year. So JV is an important time that these guys need to get ready to do things right, be in the fire, and show us as coaches that you're going to do it right on Monday night. And if you're good enough to play on Friday, it will show on Monday, and it'll show on Tuesday, Wednesday in practice and things. So JV is a very important building tool for our Friday night program as well.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, and I know you're telling the truth because I heard you talking to the guys yesterday at practice. Letting them know, hey, we've got a game today. It's Beat Oak Grove week, and this matters. And for a coach, it's invaluable to accumulate information, get those guys on film, even in JV games. Not only for your information, but also to help them improve. You can slow it down, point it out, say, hey, right here, you went this way, you need to go that way, or whatever the situation is. And as the season progresses, more and more of that film and more of that information is going to be available to you guys. And so for the scrimmage last week against Captain Shreve, we didn't have any film on those guys that I saw. And you just, like you said, you go into it and you execute what you plan to execute. But now we got the Bayou Jamb coming up this Friday at Malone Stadium, 4 o'clock. And there's film out there on Cedar Creek. We know them well. And we play a familiar foe in Cedar Creek, one that we've played. It's been in our district for the past several years. So What do you expect to see from your guys, and what do you hope to learn from your guys this Friday?
Well, one thing that Cedar Creek poses a challenge for us is that they run the flex bone offense, and that is something that only teams we've seen play the flex bone since the last 10 years. 2019, Catholic Point Capee in the Dome. 2021, River Oaks played the flex bone. Actually, that may have been 22 that they did, but and then last year Cedar Creek, and so it's an offense that you do not see very much, and so they do it every day. And as far as us in practice and everything throughout the year, we see it one time a year, and so it's going to take a very disciplined defensive football game for us that guys don't take a wasted step upfield because they just want 3 feet and they'll take advantage of that. And so last week in the scrimmage they had their top 2 fullbacks that did not play, and in that offense your fullback is usually the man, and so their top 2 guys that they depend on did not play in that scrimmage, and so they're going to be a tougher challenge than what we saw on film in the scrimmage. And then defensively, they run the 3-5-3, same thing that we do, which we run it because it gives teams challenges and problems being able to come from different directions. And so that's something that our offensive line is going to be able to need to communicate and discuss. And that's the biggest thing, I think, offensively, defensively, that we took out of the scrimmage is we have to communicate with each other. So those are some areas where we need to get better this week as we play Creek.
Okay, so with the football season getting underway, and you had your scrimmage, you have the jam coming up, and then the season will start the following week. But I guess it's kind of tradition, Coach. After your scrimmage, you take your guys on a retreat. Is that right?
Yes, we went to we had our team retreat the week before at Kings Camp in Marouge, and then we scrimmage on a Thursday so that we can do our father-son retreat with our juniors and seniors. And we went to Camp Caney in Minden and had a great, experience there Friday evening into Saturday morning. Ended up, had a great cornhole tournament. I think the Melton Tandem won the seniors and the Pokes won the juniors, and those guys live down the road from each other. So I said, y'all can settle the rest on your own.
They've probably been practicing together.
But anyway, it was a great time. And then we went to Off Limits Paintball just below Houghton, and that was a great experience. Got plenty of wounds on me, and everybody else does too from getting pelted with paintballs. I think the guys took a few extra shots after they had the opportunity.
So I was wondering, were you targeted in that paintball thing?
Yeah. I say I was targeted, but the bad thing is I got some in my back from when I walked away, and so it's a kid's opportunity to go out and give my chance to get coached.
Oops, Coach, my bad.
But he don't know where it came from, but it was a great weekend that I've heard a lot of positive things, and just throughout the years as well. I got to experience that with my own son, Maddox being out there this year. But it's a neat time that, again, just get away from everything, spend time together. So it was really good.
Yeah, and build camaraderie. I mean, one of the things about coaching, this is your 27th year, and a lot of coaches don't survive that long in one place. And I would think from the outside looking in that things like that, where you can build those relationships with those families, and at the same time that they're building their relationship with one another, can lead to kind of that tenure and building the OCS spirit, to where your coaching staff has been together for so long.
Yeah, it does. And we had our coaches were there at the retreats, and we had 4 of them with sons out here this year, but on the high school team. Coach Devaney didn't have a son at the retreat, but he was out there. But it does build camaraderie between the coaches, the dads, and realizing, we all have the same goal, that we want these young men, we're going to help each other, that we want them, number one, be in heaven, be good fathers, be good husbands, be good, respectful sons, leaders, servants, and things such as that the things that go beyond the football field. And, I hear things that a lot of other coaches go through that the parents may be the ones that drive them out. But I feel like we got the best parents in the world here at OCS. The relationship that the dads were able to build through there, and then the moms, just the way that they serve as well. And again, we just got great parents we're all in this together. And that's one thing we talked about out at the camp is, we're OCS. It's not, here's a senior class, here's a freshman class, there's the parents, there's the coaches, there's the student body, and everybody trying to do their own thing or want their own. We're all going the same direction. And so that's one thing that makes OCS really special.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we got the Jamb on Friday, and then we'll begin planning for Caldwell the following week. And as I look down our schedule, I actually watched some highlights on some of the teams that we play. I think the schedule is going to be a bit of a challenge at times. It's a good challenge, but I was thinking about the playing against Cedar Creek, and out of that flex bone, they'll predominantly run the football. How important is it going to be able to contain the running game this year for your defense?
Well, you have to stop the run. Teams, high school football, a lot of teams do not like to pass unless they have to. And so you want to put teams, a lot of high school teams are more comfortable running the football. And so you got to be able to stop the run in high school to be successful. And so, again, that's what the flex bone does. They're going to line up and try to run it down your throat every single play. They just want 3 yards.
Yep.
And that's the difference in the flex bone attitude and so many other basic offenses. A lot of the other teams are going, hey, I want 5 yards on this run play so I can throw it the next down. And flex bone is we want just 3 yards. And if we can get 3 yards, then we only have 4th and 1. And if we get more than 3 yards, it just helps us. And so they're going to try to control the clock, but you got to stop the run in high school football in order to be successful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm really excited about this football season. Again, I think a lot of it is because there's some guys that haven't played as much in the past few years. Only 3 or 4 returning starters, and there's some guys out there that you can depend on. So I want to ask about a few of those guys, and one of those is Stacy. Is Stacy playing in the Jamb on Friday?
He will. He did not play in the scrimmage last week. He had some workouts that he had to make up so we could ensure that he's in shape, ready to go, and he has made those up, and so he will be playing in the Jamb on Friday.
Yeah, okay, and then of course the quarterback play. Luke struggled at times in the scrimmage, but then I think towards the end of it, I really saw him kind of explode a couple times, and that's what I was hoping to see at the scrimmage. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake in a scrimmage as long as you're able to learn from that mistake. So I know he had a run towards the end that just looked really good. I mean, he made a couple moves, got tackled. I talked to his family this week, and they said, he got stepped on, he got hit, he got pressured, all those things, and that's really what he needed to kind of take it to the next step in his recovery and getting ready to go into the season.
He did. He stepped in and did great. And things glare out as though there were several interceptions. Well, what doesn't always glare out is it went through our receiver's hands first and into the guy's hands or whatever it may be. But he's going to be fine. And like I say, he's had a great summer, and it was good for him, I know, to get out there and get in that fire again, and just have that confidence that, my foot is fully healed. I'm ready to go. I can run on it and do whatever I need to do. And so I think it was definitely a great outing for him to go out there and get that experience to know, hey, I'm going to be just fine, and my foot's perfectly fine, and I'm ready to go.
I also saw some young guys really step up at the scrimmage and make some good plays, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Desai on the defensive end, he made some really good plays. Eli Gray looked good at linebacker. So some of those guys that we hadn't seen play before, really stepped up on the defensive side of the ball.
They did. That's what's exciting. As you said, it's a new year, new opportunities. Who are going to be the guys that you've never heard of that all of a sudden, wow, they have been doing things right through the years while they're on JV, and now that it's their turn, they're just continuing to do things right on Friday nights now. Well,
I think there's a lot of reason to be excited about the upcoming football season, and we're going to continue to do these coaches show because each week, man, we're going to have a lot of questions and observations that we can talk through. I want to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our weekly coaches show. Hope you guys are able to come out on Friday to Malone Stadium at ULM. 4 o'clock, we'll play Cedar Creek, and I don't know if they sell tickets at the gate or you have to get them online.
You can purchase tickets. The best way to do it is purchase it at OCS for $12 because all the proceeds will stay at OCS, and they're less expensive. If you wait to buy your ticket at the gate, it's going to be $15, and that's divided up amongst all the schools.
Okay, I hope you all heard that. $12. Just come up to the school, get your tickets for the Bayou Jamb this week. It's always fun, and I think if you get a ticket, do they clear the stadium?
No, they don't. Your ticket lasts for both days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 8 ball games for $12. That's pretty good. You may be able to buy some popcorn and Coke while you're there now.
Yeah, and they have good popcorn at Malone Stadium too. Kind of famous for it, nice and salty popcorn. So, I hope you guys can come out and check out the team this Friday as we head into the 2024 OCS Eagle football season. You're watching the McDonald's Weekly Coaches Show, and we want to thank you for watching. Coach Fitzhugh, I'm Daniel Kirkendall, and until next week, go Eagles.